Hi, this is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a TIS. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Topic I'm going to talk to you today about is Carlos King interview with Romona Singer. I know this happened about 3 weeks ago because I think it was either right before Bravocon or a little bit after Bravocon. And I thought I had recorded this video last week. For some reason, I couldn't find the video. I don't know if I accidentally erased it or what happened. But anyway, it started off with Carlos King, introducing himself, and then he was glad that Romona Singer came onto his show, and she said that she was glad that he asked her to do the show, and so after they got through with the introductions, he had told her that he wanted to talk about what happened on Brony and why they didn't have a reunion and all the stuff that went on in season 13. And I think it was either season 12 or 13. I can't remember. But anyway, I think it was season 13 that Ebony came on. I don't remember on 12. But anyway, she was saying that everything started off good with Ebony and stuff like that. She said Ebony had tested with Luann and everything was good, and then she tested with other people. And she said for some reason when she tested with her, she started talking about politics. And she said she didn't want to talk about no politics. She's supposed to talk about the show and be there about the show and stuff like that. And so Carlos King asked her. He said, I had Ebony on my show too, and I told Ebony when she was on the show that I didn't think she was a good fit for the Real Housewives of New York. I thought she'd be a better fit for more of a show like The View and stuff like that. And Ramona said, well, yeah, maybe kind of sort of, but but she said I don't know why she wanted to keep on talking about politics, and I didn't want to do it. And she said, and then she brought it up again. We went to the Aspen trip, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, that's a trip that Leanne kicked Ebony out of her house." She said, "Yeah." She said it started off good, and everybody was having a good time at the house. And then Ebony arrived. And she started talking about politics, and she started talking about politics and politics stuff again. Then I ran in the restroom and I called the producers, and I told the producers, she's starting again. Could they do something about it? And she said she had never heard of no black Shabbat. She had just really heard of a Shabbat. And he was saying, well, I asked Ebony this question, and I asked Ebony, well, do she think that she was blackballed? And she said no, she wouldn't use the word blackball, but she would use the word distant. She said, well, how do you think we feel? We would all feel kind of a little bit distant from Ebony after she went to HR on me and brought up those allegations of me being an R word. And he said, she said, yeah, she went to HR on me, and she went to HR on me and everything like that. And so that's why. Ooh, let me pause this. I need some water. And so after that, Ramona said that those allegations that she put against me were unfounded. They couldn't find nothing on me. So that's why I said that Emily lied on me with those false claims and stuff. And so he said, well, you did say everything was going on good at one time. He said, but that was just the Aspen thing. He said, what happened when I had that Utah trip? She said, we went to Utah. That trip was real good, and Ebony, and we were all having fun. Ebony was having fun, and I was saying, ooh, I wish Ebony could have done that earlier in the season, because it made the girls feel more comfortable and stuff like that. And we thought everything was fine because the last episode in Utah was okay and everybody was getting along. But but then when she did that lawsuit, and then when she went to HR on me and they had those allegations on me and stuff like that, we were kind of distant from her. And so Carlos King asked Ramona. He said, "Do you think that Ebony? Do you think that Ebony was the reason why Real Housewives of New York didn't have a new season and they didn't have a reunion?" She said, "Well, I wouldn't put it like that, but I say, but I wouldn't put it like that. That she was the one who I wouldn't put it exactly like that. But I would say because she went to HR and because we had to be investigated, that did have something to do with it. And so he said, Ramona, how did you find out about the Roni reboot?" And they were splitting the shows up. She said, "Well, I was in Aspen skiing. You know Aspen. I was jet skiing." He said, "Yeah, I know about Aspen. I know about jet skiing." She said, "I found out just like everybody else from TV and on the internet, and I was saying, why should they break up a show and why should they have a reboot with all new people and have a legacy so with other people, with people they really didn't want? That's why I was calling it the loser show, the loser show." And so and so he said, Ramona, would you be interested in going back to Real Housewives of New York? She said, "Well, I would never say never, but I'm just saying, but I would never say that, but I'm just saying that the old show was good until they started having politics and all that other stuff. And people didn't want to talk about that. And so it was like after that he kind of asked her some casual questions about her personal life and all kind of stuff like that. But getting back to what is happening, what it was, like I said on my Twitter and other stuff, I had watched both. I had watched a majority of, I think, season 13, Real Housewives of New York, and I saw the way those girls. I saw the way those girls were treating Ebony. None of them really wanted to work with Ebony, but Ebony was trying to work with them the best that she could. And like I said, after all the debacle and stuff happened, come to find out, Leah was not really Ebony's friend. None of those girls didn't really want to work with her. And I could tell from the part that I was on that part that I saw, that Bashan girl, they had brought her on there as a friend of just to be the other side of Ebony. When you have a strong person, a strong person with political ties, they always want to have the opposing view. So I think that's what Brashawn was brought on there for, but she didn't really do anything for the show and stuff like that. Ramona, you're trying to bait around the question and saying that it was Ebony going to HR and having and going to HR and having y'all investigate and stuff like that. Like I said, I stopped watching New York after Jill Farron left because her husband was sick, and I stopped watching it then. And like I said, from little clips that I saw back and forth on the internet, even when Ebony wasn't on there, Ramona was a problem. She was coming at that Leah girl, and I think somebody put some clips up where it was like season I think 11 and 12 when they had Leah on there when they first brought her on, and she was doing Leah bad, and I was saying, well, wait a minute, you trying to put everything on Ebony, you trying to put everything on Ebony. You was like this before Ebony even came, and then it was some people that was telling me the same, that was saying the same thing on Twitter. They were saying, you were saying about, Ramona's bad behavior. They said Ramona been acting like that. So like I said, I hadn't watched it since Jill Farron left, and that was like I think Jill Farron was on there like season 1, 2, maybe 3 at the most. So I'll say like this, maybe after season 2, I stopped watching. So I didn't know about these other seasons, and I was only watching it because Ebony was on there. and stuff like that. And like I said, some people keep saying that Ebony ruined the show. They just don't want to take responsibility for Ramona's bad behavior and bad behavior. And I'm looking at when Nene did all that stuff, people had a problem with Nene acting a fool. But it's like when Ramona does it and stuff like that, it's like it want to be shipped up under the rug and everything else. Like I said, I'm going to do the part what Ebony said on her holding court thing about her side of it. Now Ramona did say that they lost lots of money because they would get paid for the reunion and they were supposed to get paid for the season. And she lost lots of money in endorsement deals and stuff like that behind it. If you supposed to be such a big time OG and stuff, Ramona, you supposed to still be able to, come back and pivot and stuff and find something else to do. I think what it was, that Bravo money was real good, but that's why she said it would never say never. But like I said, this is all I have to say about this subject. This is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a TI is. I am out.